Hello world, it's Eire with Saturn's Edge, and you're watching more Persona 3 Reload. That's right, we're doing more of this again. Gotta keep up the streak. That's really the important part of all this. I don't really have any big news or announcements or anything like that. Just overall, kind of a simple day. I will say, after some consideration, some talking around, I will eventually be doing another episode of Carmageddon 2, because I really didn't get into the real meat of the gameplay. But, it'll happen eventually.
I'd like everyone to gather at the
man, there's just really not much to say. This episode is gonna be a lot more focused on just gameplay, like actual, like, dungeon crawling, going through Tartarus, enjoying ourselves, actually, like, playing the game, you know, taking our time with things. I'm extremely late when it comes to playing this game. I bought this game launch day, the DLC expansion is coming out, like, next week, and I'm not even, like, I'm, like, a solid quarter of the way through the main game. I gotta pick up the pace. But, I will say, it's been a fun ride. Simple as that. Last episode, we cleaned up Kenji's social link and truly got to understand who Kenji is as a person and why I think he's a pretty cool character. And we also got to do, we got Fuuka officially teaming up with us now. What's the word I'm looking for here? They're joining us. They're joining us. That's the part. Man. There really isn't much to say. Oh, and we officially have the name of the kid, who's been talking to us during the Dark Hour. Pharos. Me, personally, I prefer to pronounce it Pharos, because that just seems, like, correct to me. But, you know what? If he says Pharos, we'll go Pharos. Who am I to judge? My name is a pain to look at after reading and trying to pronounce it because every teacher has managed to mess it up, and I don't blame them. So, you know, I'll stick with Pharos for the time being because that's it. That's the thing. Ah, man. I gotta say, I really do have nothing to say in this episode when it comes to announcements and news. Usually I'd start off, I'd do a whole thing like, oh yeah, you know, this is all the stuff that happened, and I'm just like, yeah, today when I'm recording this audio is like a normal day at work, and nothing else has really happened. So, you know, just, whatever. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, it's just, wish a bit more happened, you know? Then again, you gotta make it happen. That's the point of each day. You gotta make stuff happen if you want to make it interesting. A day's gonna be boring if you just sit around all day. That's kind of my problem that I run into consistently. Then again, some weird stuff like happens around me and I'm able to actually report on that. I will say though, you know me, whenever I record these audios I tend to have a drink with me, you know, in this case, same as always. But this time I'm just gonna eat a snack as well because, you know what, I'm a little bit hungry. And it's a way to kill time. I gotta say, like, eating while recording is kind of like a guilty pleasure for me. Because I know I'm supposed to take this, like, somewhat seriously. But, like, I gotta eat. I wanna eat. I wanna snack on something. I'm a fiend. I'm a fiend for, like, sugar and chocolate and just something, you know? I like eating while I'm recording. Okay, maybe not eating, but at least drinking. I recognize now it was probably bad to eat while I was recording this little bit of audio here. But you know what? We're going with it. We're going with the flow.
Good day. Here are my requests. Let's hear the results.
Right now I'm eating some Nutella and Go. You know, those like breadsticks you dip in the Nutella and they come in that weird, like, semicircle shaped package. That's what I'm eating.
I'm looking forward to it.
I hate the breadsticks, though. I much prefer the pretzels. The pretzels are just a lot better. Because, like, you get that salty. The breadsticks are just kind of, like, plain. And they feel weird on your tongue. They really do. I don't know how to, describe it.
You do anything, but it'd be great.
There we go, that's better. There we go. So, for the meantime right now, I'm doing requests for Elizabeth because we got a new batch of them. You saw it already. We already turned in a fresh bouquet. We turned in 3 Jack Frost dolls that were in the crane machine. I mean, both of those are pretty nice, you know. But, now we're just doing other stuff. We're really just doing anything we feel like. She wants potent medicine, I guess I gotta get it from the doctor. She wants a triangular sword. That's not something I know of, but maybe someone would know of it. There's just something so nice just about being back in the chair, being back on the mic, and just recording audio again. I know I mentioned before I needed to take my break, but don't get me wrong, I really wanted to come back. Like, just to talk, just to be here again, you know?
You finished?
I don't feel important when I'm behind the mic. I just feel heard. And I like that. I just like feeling heard. And, you know, that's the most that we can ask for sometimes, is that someone at least out there listens to you. And that's why I encourage, like, comments. I do read the comments, and I love them, you know? I read them, I like, you know, liking them and doing whatever with them, especially if they're, like, pretty interesting to me. Like, if they're a fact, if they're just something funny, you know? I like making people feel heard, because I know I like the same thing. Kind of, a simple, what is it? Not a trade-off, exchange? Maybe that's the word I'm looking for here. Ooh, there we go. I think I got that apathy syndrome thing? Get better soon, idiot. No. Oh, man. I think, I mean, I have this batch of Persona episodes I'm working on, you know, audio-wise, and that's going to be fun to record and to put up online. But I also have a couple interesting ideas for the future. One of which is very, out-of-pocket and unusual. Something that, well, it's something you wouldn't typically expect. It really isn't. Especially out of a channel like mine, where I focus on, like, the older style of Let's Play, you know? I'm just, what's the word? I'm trying to branch out and discover what I can do to really, like, appeal to different kinds of people. Some people like my Persona gameplay, surprisingly. They just like watching me play this game that takes a really long time to play. But they still like it anyway. And then some people, they like my gameplay with friends videos. Some people, they like my speed paints, which is surprising, because that art is genuinely terrible. But then, you know, I want to branch out. I want to discover exactly what I want to do here. When it comes to, like, doing videos, to making content, to pushing something out and, like, you know, just putting it out there, you know?
I'm sorry if I ignored you.
In the meantime, I guess we could start off with, well, a social link, level up with Chihiro.
I was having a bit of trouble deciding.
I think a bookstore is actually a really nice place to go to hang out with people. I went to a Barnes & Noble yesterday with my friends whenever they were in town. It's just a nice vibe. It's really fun. You get to look around at all the stuff. You get to talk a bit. You get to, you know, have fun with it, and it's a very respectful thing.
When the main character can't ask out the guy she likes.
Respectful as in, like, you're being kind to other people by, like, not shouting or something, you know.
Oh, I'm sorry. This probably
Like, that to me is nice. Like, libraries are a cool place to hang out. Like, bookstores, where you can talk a bit more than a library, that's where I vibe with.
Is it boring for you to hang around with, someone like me?
Yes, extremely, no. I like joking around like that. I just like saying the opposite thing for no reason, you know. It's mean, it's stupid, but then, like, come on, you can't take it seriously. It's just, it's whatever.
I was able to, say what was on my mind to you.
And, you know, that's a good thing.
I want to stop being so
I like
afraid of
joking
everything.
around like this,
I
where
wanna
I
be
just
able
kind
to
of
talk to
play
other
around and
people.
do whatever.
My homeroom teacher, Mr. Takanozuka, he gives me a lot
That
of
is
class-related
a
tasks,
long name.
but I'm
I mean,
also
not long,
scared
but that's a
that all I
name.
can do is nod.
And this is okay, this is an interesting part of Chihiro, is that I finally get an explanation for this.
Well, it's not much of a story, but my dad is a very scary person. I'm not living with him anymore. I can still remember the face he made when he got mad. So, whenever I see a man now, all I can think of is that face.
This is reasonable. This is actually, like, a very reasonable, like, understood
Oh,
explanation
no, I'm really happy that you care.
for, like,
Thank you.
being afraid of guys. It's actually solid. I feel like it's gonna develop more later. You know, as all social links do. This is only the second rank, right? But I feel like that this is actually a good, solid, like, building block of an explanation. Something that I can get behind and understand on a simple level. It's like, it starts at this, but because it affected me, even when I'm gone, it's now an effect that happens, like, all the time. Like, I like a simple explanation like that.
Yes, come
And
in.
I like this right here. This scene here,
I think we should start heading to the
with
command room
Yukari and Fuuka.
Huh?
One, we get to see Fuuka's room.
already
That's
finished
cool. I like all the flowers. I like the
planning on
nice,
helping you out later,
like,
too.
is that a radio setup or a stereo setup? That's a stereo.
Didn't have too
No, but
much
it's got
with
that
me,
little
so
thing that could be a
I
radio.
finished a lot sooner than I
It's a
expected.
sound setup. There's some books on the bottom. There's a nice little makeup
are you good with
desk
computers
there
by
that
any
like
chance?
folds up for a mirror, but then
You
goes
think you
down
could
for a
teach me?
desk. There's the
I'm really
TV
not
that
good with
always
stuff
appears
like
in the
that.
corner.
Sure, if you'd like.
Oddly
me to.
enough, Fuuka's actually good with computers.
Are you
There's like a
looking into
nice little
something?
bit of characterization there that she
Yes.
is like a
I
proven
figured I
like
should know everyone's defining
like
characteristics and
stats
whatnot
kind of
to
person, like
prepare for battle.
statistics.
I can't do any actual fighting, so I need to make myself useful.
Oh, I see. You're a really hard worker.
I like this because it
And
solidifies
you've got an
a
amazing ability,
bond,
too.
an interaction between
Now that I
Yukari
think about
and
it,
Fuuka.
Everyone in this dorm is
I
pretty
like
amazing,
this.
Huh? Sonata Senpai is hands down one of the strongest, and our leader has a power unlike anyone else's. I bet Kirijo Senpai is strong too.
And the Junpei slander, I
Well,
hate it,
he's
but like
whatever.
at the same time,
But what
it's
do
in
I have?
character. I can't
I'm
argue
only
with
half the
it.
person everyone else here is. I couldn't even do anything the last full moon. Maybe I don't need to be here after all.
That's not true at all.
Huh?
It also solidifies Yukari's
told that a
like
persona
development
is
as a
the power
character.
of the
She's
soul,
kind of been
also
flat,
known as your
honestly,
other
in a weird
self.
way, especially at the
That's why I
very
think a
beginning.
person's personality and
But
feelings
now
are
we actually got
reflected
to
in their
get to
persona.
understand that like she herself
example,
does struggle with
Takeba-san,
some
your
issues
persona
of
has healing powers, right?
self-image, I should say.
That's because there's a kindness in you that no one else has.
I'm not kind at all.
Not like being
I
able
just
to
don't wanna see
truly
anyone
like
go down and
understand,
get hurt,
you
that's
know?
all. Come on. I think Akutsuki-san's gonna be here soon. Oh, and you can just call me Yukari. I hope you
I
like it
like
here,
it when
Fuuka.
the games like that I play
I'm sure I
take
will.
time, just a little bit of
Thank
time,
you, Yukari-chan.
to solidify and establish bonds between characters. I like it,
Sorry for
especially
calling you all
when they're
again
not the
so soon,
protagonist. The
but
protagonist is meant to have bonds with characters no matter what, because you're playing as
Let me
him.
show you before I get into explaining
But-
what it is.
Character-to-character interaction is something that I've always liked in games. It takes you out of the
I'd
picture.
like to provide you
It doesn't
with
force you to be
some
like the
new
leader, the one
equipment.
taking charge, but you just hear the
After spending
conversation as the
quite some
player,
time in
and
development,
you're just
we're
there
now ready for
seeing the
battle
story.
testing phase.
And now we got some new
Shadows are
equipment.
getting
Let's
stronger.
go.
You just barely won the last battle.
This is a
We can only
thing
assume they'll grow
kind
even
of
more
unique
powerful still.
to Reload.
That's why you all need something more to stay in the fight.
You
From
get
now
your
on,
own,
I
like,
want everyone to
actual
use these
battle
during your
uniforms.
operations.
It's kind of funny.
Combat gear, complete with a matching armband. And your new trump card in the battle against the shadows. Cartridges that enable the use of Theurgy.
Theurgy. Finally, I know how to pronounce that word.
Theurgy means
I mean, I learned
spiritual
back when I
magic
recorded
that
this,
could
but
reach
you
the
get the
gods
point.
in Greek.
Oh look, there's the mentioning of Greek. There's the mentioning of Greece. Greek.
Synchronizes the user's emotions, and when the right
My
conditions
brain
are
is
met,
just like
allows them to
completely
unleash an
gone.
attack of immense power.
Oh, you're talking about signature attacks. Oh yeah, I've been waiting for something like this.
This is nice.
Okay, how does it work?
He just
Well, about that.
just
It's a
kind
bit
of explained it.
difficult to explain. I think it might be easier if you just try it out for yourselves.
Okay, you're just no help. But I'll say alright anyway, because I just don't
Is it
care.
dangerous to use something like this without knowing how it works?
Oh, don't worry about that. It's been well tested and determined completely safe.
Tested by who? Who tested
There's
this?
a manual for it as well. Take a look at it if you feel the need.
And when did you make a manual for it? This
I'm
isn't
sure
like a
glad I
Wii
made it
game
in
where you
today.
have like the
With
manual for it
Yamagishi-kun
in the
joining
front of
us,
the disc
Ryujo-kun
thing.
can
The
go back
what
to
is that?
being
The
a
case.
frontline fighter.
The case.
That means Cease is going to have a new lineup after today. And what better time than now to roll out this new weapon? Don't you agree? Oh,
Sure.
Look at the time.
Oh, would you look at the time?
I'd like
It's
to
the
talk
dark
more
hour.
about this,
Bye.
but I've been quite busy with the investigation into those large shadows. I think we're on the verge of a breakthrough, though, so I'll be sure to let you know what we find out soon.
Okay.
Okay, I'm leaving the rest to you, Kirijo.
Man, I'm tired today. I don't know what's with me.
And there he goes.
Thanks for being helpful, Akutsuki. Where were your puns, though? I missed
Rather
them.
laid back, isn't he?
More like careless.
It's fine. We should just give it a go like the chairman said.
In fact, since everyone's already here, now might be the best opportunity.
Okay.
Let's head into Tartarus
And
try
we get a
out our new
tutorial,
equipment.
kinda, where we just go into Tartarus
I've
and
been
try out the
wanting to
new
get
stuff.
back into the swing of things anyway. And this will serve
I
as a
think-
good test of our team lineup with Yamagishi
like,
as backup.
I think a lot of things. My brain, it has thoughts. Did you hear that? Like it's just hollow. Like you hear like a,
Man,
like
this
a,
trump card stuff is getting me
you
so
know,
pumped up.
like there's nothing
Look
in
at me
there at
all
all.
like, take this, Super Ace Junpei attack.
Ah, yes, the Saja, my favorite move.
A little nervous since it's my first time, but
The Super Ace Junpei attack is also known as the Saja, my
Alright.
my greatest
We're going to
attack of
Tartarus
all
once
time
everyone
that I
is
have
geared
in my
up.
whole setup here.
good.
Now, Theurgies are completely new. The concept of them is completely new to Persona 3 Reload. I will be talking about these soon, but what's more important is, wow, look at this animation. All our characters are gearing up. Look at this. This is cool. This is like that one scene in like any Marvel movie where it shows like all the heroes like walking to the battlefield for some reason, or like lining up, or you know, it's the Marvel moment. You know what a Marvel moment is. You've seen every MCU movie, or at least one of them. I love this, because it really showcases, like, all the different outfits. It showcases, like, the character personalities, just even a little bit, like a small glimpse of them. And I like the transition between all the armbands. I think it's really nice. Makoto's stupid walk. He's kind of, like, pimping with that stride, you know? He's... Look at him go! Oh, man. Then you get the whole lineup, it's just like, man, this is kind of badass. I like these new outfits
Oh,
a
man,
lot.
This is awesome. We're like a super elite task force.
I'm with Junpei on this one. It's really cool.
Come on, could you at least wear it like you're supposed to?
Actually, no, the manual
But
told
it
me
does
not
look
to.
Like everyone's outfits are a bit different.
Each one is made to complement our physiques and fighting styles. And we're testing the prototype out on me.
See,
But it feels
this
even
is
better
what
than
I
it did
like.
before.
Whenever they have, like,
Very light and
team
airy.
uniforms
I wonder
that
if it's the
actually
same
work
materials
like
they use in the
this.
military, or maybe even the ones
This
that-
actually, like, has a level of,
Seems like
like,
this armband
intelligence
isn't
in
just
it
for
that makes
decoration either.
sense.
According to the manual,
Akihiko's
there
has
are a
the
bunch of
sleeves
different
all the way
features
up
built
and
into
no
it.
coat over it,
For example,
instead
it
opting
can
for
give
more
you
of a
readout of your
vest.
vitals.
While you have Fuuka with a
What else?
massive, like,
There's
heavier,
also a
durable
function that
cloak,
notifies you when
Yukari
you
with, like, a
use
bigger
your
trench
energy?
coat that still has arm mobility and access to the evoker on the leg. Mitsuru's got a belt with
It
the
doesn't
evoker
look like
in
there's
it,
much
something that she
information
is
about
accustomed to.
All I can tell is that
And
you load the
Junpei's, like,
cartridge into
lack
your
of a
evoker to
coat,
use it.
and it's hanging down,
Then let's
making
make that our
for
objective for today.
larger, like, more,
Make sure to stay alert, everyone.
there's more movement in a two-handed
All right,
sword
Yamagishi,
swing.
you're going
That's
to
what
be
I'm trying to
careful,
get at.
Just like I mentioned before.
And Makoto's,
This time,
well,
I'll be
Minato's,
joining
our
the rest of you in
protagonists,
battle.
being basic makes sense.
I'm going to.
A one-handed sword
I gotta
doesn't
make sure my
require the
skills are still
mobility or the charge-up time as a two-handed sword. It's not as, you don't need to be as
Then include
open
our
or free
leader,
as
that will be our
punching.
team.
You don't need to have a specific stance.
I'm gonna go
You
too.
don't need to literally use a ranged weapon. It's just a one-handed sword, something that's easy.
We can't go without our leader. You stay here and support Yamagishi.
I like this so much. They actually put thought into the outfits that they would wear. And I like the fact that you get to encourage Junpei with this. You gotta keep the ace in the reserve. It's true.
Put it that way,
Junpei really is
Don't
the
worry,
ace.
Fuuka. Nothing's getting past me.
Now, I gotta give him a bit of encouragement,
okay.
because, you know, he needs it. He deserves it,
There
I
it
should
goes
say
again.
that.
Fuuka, if it gets too dangerous, just
Hmm.
leave him behind. And don't be afraid to smack him if he tries anything funny.
Okay, got it.
Also, Fuuka's headphones is, like, really funny. I love it.
Yamagishi,
Well,
could you
headset,
scout
I
the
should say,
area
'cause
and
there's a
find good
microphone
floor for
there.
us to start on?
Okay,
Look, I know I've nerded out about these outfits, but genuinely,
seems
I love it
different in
when
here
outfits,
from
like team-coordinated outfits, or outfits in general,
Well,
have
that's
like a
nothing new.
theme or a sense of purpose, or they make sense to actually
No,
use. They
not
have a
like that.
realistic purpose.
it seems
Kind of
distorted.
like this.
It's probably just
This
temporary.
right here, this
I'll try and
lineup
find a
of like
stable flow for us
outfits,
to start on.
this works. Props
You
to
think you got this
Atlas
already?
for designing these things, because these are amazing.
It could be because we didn't enter the usual.
I
way last
love
time.
these designs,
Because
I
of
love
those
these
huge
outfits, and honestly,
idea what's gonna
it would
happen
be
here.
such a
Not that I'm
waste,
complaining
a
about.
total waste,
All right.
if you
let's go.
never at any point in time put out, like, official, like, cosplays or official merch that involved some of this stuff. Like the armbands, for example,
sword
that
looks
kind of
pretty
work as, like,
cool.
shoulder bracers,
This
too.
bow I got is really light and looks pretty easy to use. I can't wait to see
Like,
it in action.
If they never had,
The
like,
German got
you
us
know,
all new
official
weapons,
merch
too, huh?
for this, like,
Guess
for
we should be thanking
cosplays,
him.
that'd be
They
such a
barely
waste.
explained anything, though.
If they at least put
Sometimes I
out,
can't tell if it's
like,
actually helpful or
like
not.
the proper, like,
All of
list
this
of
has been
instructions in
custom-made
order
for
to
us.
make the
You can tell
clothing,
because of the season
that would be
markings on
amazing.
everything.
That would be
As
perfect.
always, you're in command.
I am a fan
And
of
make sure to check the
cosplay,
equipment
I'm a
before we
fan
get
of
started.
character design, I'm a fan of a lot of things. But when it comes to cosplay, I like seeing official cosplays. Official either put out by the company, official either put out by, like, some off-brand company. Official as in it's homemade, it doesn't matter. Has to be legit. That's my only rule. Now, we get introduced to a couple things here. Everyone now has the C's uniform on. Everyone also has a piece of equipment called the C's whatever weapon they use. So, short sword, long sword, bow, what is that? The, well, knuckles or whatever, you know, brass knuckles, nah. Or, in Mitsuru's case, the rapier. And yes, she does not use traditional things like everyone else has been using so far. She instead opts for a rapier. Something that, You know, at first, when it came to swords in games, right? To me, I was never interested in the rapier. I think it was kind of lame. It didn't work. But that was the way that maybe the game portrayed it, compared to, like, big swords, or, like, other weapons that were just, like, weirdly better looking.
Good day.
Seeing, like, a rapier in this game was a bit worrying for me at first. But over time, you'll see it soon, it grew on me. I understood the purpose of it. I understood why. That's a good thing. That's what a game should try to do. Even if the weapon you are using does not at all seem appealing, there are ways to make it seem interesting or, like, really cool in some way.
Yamagishi, do you copy?
Yes, I'm here.
Are you picking up
There
any
we go.
shadows?
Now,
Looks like there's
for
one
this
close
section,
by. Be careful.
what's interesting that the game decides to do is it decides, hey,
All right.
what we're
Let's
going to
head over
do
there and
for
feel
this
things
night,
out.
we're going to make it a tutorial. It's a tutorial for Fuuka's navigation skills. It's a tutorial for Mitsuru as a party member. And it's a tutorial later on for the Theurgies. I love this set of tutorials. Honestly, this works. You'll see really soon that, like, I absolutely love how all of this is built up and set up to just function. I like this game, like, a lot for a lot of reasons, but, like, building up is the one thing I like. The way that it does the, like, building things up and making it work.
Still setting up.
First off, what's neat to note is that the rapier, unlike what I originally thought, is not a piercing weapon, it is a slashing weapon. I respect that. That makes the most sense, and after seeing it in action, and actually after understanding a bit more about what a rapier does and is supposed to do, it makes sense now, I get it. Now, Mitsuru doesn't start with any skills. You get Bufu, Mabufu, you got Marin Karin, you absolute beast. Marin Karin is, it's a well-known community meme at this rate. I love it. Pensithalea? That's her persona? I have to look up how to pronounce that again. That's my bad. Let's see.
Perfect coordination.
Penthesilea. Penthesilea? Is that right? That's gotta be right, I hope.
You were amazing. Great
I hope.
Thank you, Yukari-chan.
I really hope it is, because I don't want to butcher the name. Penthesilea. I cannot pronounce this, I'm so sorry. An Amazonian queen that appears in Greek mythology, daughter of Ares, the Greek god of war, and Ortrera, queen and founder of the Amazons, and said to have several sisters. Accidentally killed her sister, Hippolyta, depends on how you pronounce that. And as penance for her actions, she joined in the Trojan War, leading the Amazons to battle. She joined the war in its 10th and final year, and was said to have killed Achilles, but Zeus brought him back to life, and Achilles killed her. When the hero lifted her helm, he fell in love and agreed to return her body unharmed to the Trojans for proper burial. The brutish Thersites mocked him for the mercy, and some say gouged out Penthesilea's eye with a spear. For this, Achilles slew him. Her name means mourned by the people, and it comes from the Greek words penthos and leos. I think that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool story, actually. I never knew about that. Now, what Mitsuru absolutely dominates in is ice skills. As a whole, she is your ice-type persona user. If you think about it, our protagonist had a fire-type skill, so we could make him the fire-type user with Orpheus. Yukari is our wind user. You have Junpei as our fire, and Akihiko as our electric. Finally, we have an ice-type user, and that belongs to Mitsuru. Now, because Orpheus is very not strong at all in any possible way. It's easy to replace him and just cover up with ice skills, or any skill, really. But I like this. I like the fact that, you know, early game it encourages you to change, but also, like, now you have technically a full party, a full team of people who can cover various elements. The only ones not being covered are light and dark, things that you can cover. And also, everyone covers a physical aspect in some form, with Yukari being Pierce, Mitsuru, Junpei, and Minato being Slash. While also Junpei can take the strike role, Akihiko mainly takes strike. I like all of this. Now, we need to talk about Fuuka's persona. Fuuka's navigator persona, Lucia. Lucia of Syracuse, also called Saint Lucia or Saint Lucy. Lucy was a Christian martyr who died during the Diocletianic, there we go, persecution. She is venerated as the patron saint of the blind. She is one of the 8 women explicitly commemorated by Roman Catholics in the canon of the Mass. Her traditional feast day, known in Europe as St. Lucia's Day, is observed by Western Christians on December 13th. And her name can branch from 2 words, lux, in Latin, meaning light, and lucid, which is English, which means clear. And then you also have vivid and intelligible, also in English. A devout young woman who led a life of extreme virtue and whose belief in consecrating her virginity for God, and whose urge to spend her life on alms enraged her pagan betrothed, who then reported her as a Catholic to the magistrate. When her mother, Eutychia, I don't know, arranged for her to marry a wealthy pagan, she refused. And there is a massive story here, wow. Wow, there's a lot of these. That's a long story, I'm sorry. Point is, we actually have a pretty interesting basis for a persona. Instead of what we've seen so far with Greek mythology, now we have Abrahamic mythology, and also a historical figure. Like, a real historical figure that has a proper holiday. That's pretty cool. I like that.
Let's keep going then.
Man. I think Lucia, as a concept, is pretty cool. And, I mean, it kind of ties into the Greek thing that the rest of the characters have, so far. But, I'm willing to wait things out, maybe read more into Lucia, and report my findings tomorrow with, well, not tomorrow, but next video. You get what I'm saying. I think I'm learning a lot more about random characters in mythology, or just random people in general that I've never heard of in my life.
What? Why is it all dark?
I like hearing about these things and learning more and studying more, you know.
Stay calm. It looks like you were all sent to different locations on this floor.
That's weird.
So they separated us by force.
There's danger lurking in this darkness. We need to regroup as soon as
I'm sorry, anytime I hear that,
Yamagishi,
there's
can you
danger
guide
lurking
us?
in this darkness. Ah, yes, the danger that's in the darkness. The darkness is danger. That danger in the darkness. Just pull the full, like, Kronk speech out on him. Like, that line is just too, I don't know, overdramatic in a way. Don't get me wrong, I love overdramatic stuff, but, like, it's a little bit much. Oh, that's a big shadow. Why is our character just walking? That's something that's bugged me, actually, since I went through this. He was literally just walking around, not running anywhere, not important, just walking. Oh, wow.
Not again.
Oh my god.
Always protecting me. I'm getting hurt because of it.
I like that actually flashed it back to the very beginning like that.
What am I even doing?
It's really nice.
Yukari-chan!
Fuuka, I need you to back me up. I'll hold this thing off until everyone else gets here.
Wow, you managed to critical hit a rock. Good job. That's actually impressive. That was a massive rock.
Wait, is this? Yukari-chan, load the cartridge.
So this is the start of what a theurgy is. And we get a better explanation of it later on. I do like this sequence of events. I really wish that it let me kind of do my own thing instead of doing, like, you know, like forcing that, you know, taking away my control, just kind of railroading me on this. I don't mind. It's for the sake of the tutorial, but it's kind of cool. The sequence is cool, but railroading me into it kind of isn't as fun. That's what I mean to say. Nice.
Are you okay? I'm sorry. It was all my fault.
I think Minato over time, as a
But you
character
shouldn't
to
be
me,
so
like
reckless.
when I'm playing him, has gone from kind of like aloof and apathetic to more considerate to his team members in the field, but also still trying to become sociable and like
Sorry,
a
I worried
person
everyone.
in real life.
It's all right. You did well in
I
handling
think
an
during the Dark
unexpected
Hour, I'd
situation.
personalize him more as being the leadership type, even though he is like overly like the leadership type, you know, tactician, yeah, that sort of
Work
thing.
out there, team.
I'm sorry. I should have been.
Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped that, like, that little voice line there. That's
agree.
awful.
I'm convinced that you're the one we need on support.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Fuuka.
I also
didn't
like
do
the fact that you
anything.
can come, that, like, you know, you get forced back
That
here.
special attack sure was cool,
But, like,
though,
you get to talk
Yuka-san.
everything over. You get to
Enjoy.
really, like, start to understand the
How?
concept.
I just focused really
I
hard and
like
thought
that.
to myself,
I like
I
that,
have
like,
to do whatever
I hate that it
takes.
railroads you this much
And
during
while
a
I was
tutorial
thinking
like
that, I
this,
kinda
because
felt something
we got examples of
surging
tutorials
inside
that
me.
didn't feel as railroady. They really didn't.
Chairman did say the cartridge would synchronize with our emotions.
But we start to understand
Right.
things, like start to really
Although,
put together,
I'm
like
still not
synchronize with
entirely
emotions.
sure
Well, we
how it
saw something
works.
in the bottom left earlier
From
that
what I
said
could tell,
personality,
It reacted to Yukari-chan's strong emotions.
and Fuuka's our navigator telling us what's
So this
happening.
weapon gives the user strength beyond their limits when their emotions are heightened?
I don't really get it. But basically, if we're fired up enough, we can really pop off, right?
And the summary from Junpei is in
Here,
character,
Yukari-chan, we
but
have a
also
good
it's kind
idea
of like
how it works.
simplifying it
From
down.
now
It feels
on,
nice
I
to
should
hear
be able
that.
to tell when someone can use theirs.
Also, I wanted to make the joke here. I'm dying to try for myself. And then nobody reacted to it. And I was just like, man,
Fired up right now.
that makes it feel like, that feels like wasted potential. Really.
Actually,
I kind of want to
I
make,
think
like,
it's
my
too
protagonist a
dangerous
little
to
bit
use here.
morbid sometimes.
I'll do more research into how the syncing with emotions works later. Everyone has different feelings when they're fighting, so the timing on when they can use these will probably be
I
different.
think
too.
theurgies,
I'd like to
I'll
give it a
talk
go
about them
myself,
more in the next
but we should
episode.
call it a day for now. We can't overwork
But
our
I
leader.
do
We've
have
got some time
some
until
hot
the next
takes
full
on
moon.
theurgies. And a lot of people have a lot of different opinions on them, and I kind of want to go over them.
What if something
If
like
you
that
have an
happens
opinion on
again?
theurgies, you know, put them in the comments. I'll read them
Something
off
has
and
changed
like
in the tower, we'll need to be
I want to
extra
talk
careful
about
when
them. I feel like
exploring
having
from
like
now
a discussion about them, not
In
like
case,
a straw
we
man
might have some
argument,
problems, but
not
we
like an
learn a lot
argument at
together.
all. Actually,
Not
I just want to
only
have a
did we get to
discussion
test
about
our
them.
new
I just
lineup
feel
and
like
equipment,
you know,
but we also got to see that we're all improving at a
considering that
remarkable
theurgies
pace.
actually are a point of contention for this game.
Senpai.
Like, a lot of people
Quit
have differing
bugging me.
opinions on them.
Just
I
like
do want to
everything
talk
to
about it.
Junpei Io,
I think it'd be a nice
the
topic.
soon-to-be MVP.
Also,
I just love this little bit right here. Like, yeah, you are the soon-to-be
Maybe I
MVP.
shouldn't
Wait a
be the
minute.
one to say this, but you literally didn't do anything.
I just love that. It was so good that when I was, like, making all of my episodes, like, work together, all allies can now use theurgy, I wanted to end it off there, and it's perfect timing, too. Anyway, I've been Eire with Saturn's Edge. you just watched another episode of this. Happy 25th episode! That's a quarter to 100. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all around next time, okay? Bye!